there is a good possibility that my family of origin does not remember my childhood and what was said and done, because I ran wild a lot and was not watched a lot. I'd get in trouble when they caught me, like trying to swim in the pond by myself at age 6. And I'd get in trouble and threatened and even spanked for things I did wrong. But I ran wild a lot and wasn't told things a lot or explained things a lot. You will just do what you're told. And just, I do believe they don't remember because they didn't really give a crap. And excuse me for saying a couple bad words in this video that I made. And it's for comedy too, but it's the truth basically. But I hope you enjoy it. There's a knock on the door. Let's see who it is. Someone's coming to visit me. I'm watching the Olympics right now. Oh, hi. It's Nancy Lou and my mom. Oh, hi, Kathy. How are you doing? Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to call you Kate. You like Kate better because of what happened with your sister-in-law, which I don't believe happened. But anyway, let's let bygones be bygones. And just don't talk about it. Come on in, Nancy Lou and Mom. Sit down. We're watching the Olympics. You want to see something? Maybe we can watch the skiing today. I watched the dancing, skating, the figure skating dancing. And boy, we got silver, the U.S. I was hoping they'd get the gold, but the France team won out. Mom, you remember when I wanted to be an ice skater? When I asked you if I could be like Peggy Fleming? Well, Catherine, I don't watch the Olympics, summer or winter. So I know they're every 4 years, but I don't watch, so I'll stay for a while. But I really don't want to stay long because I don't watch the Olympics skating, and I don't even want to talk about ice skating. But I'll sit here and talk to you guys if you want me to. Okay. I'll visit. Oh, that's great that you're watching the Olympics. It's the Winter Olympics, and me too. I skated on the pond already, and I love ice skating too, so we can talk a little bit about that and everything else that you want to talk about. How are you doing here? Go get me a Coke! I need a soda now! What do you have in this house to eat? And I need a Coke! Get me a Coke! Somebody get me a Coke! Your daddy wanted to name you Catherine after his Aunt Catherine, even though I was in charge and told him what's what. I said, you're going to be Nadine, but he said he wanted Catherine, and he won out that time, and you're Catherine. Oh, but they want to call you Kathy. You were Kathy through high school until your senior year, but you wanted to be Kate because your cousins who took you, Bert and Joan, took you to Youth for Christ, and you wanted to be Kate. And that's the name we try to call you, but most of us think you're Catherine or Kathy, not Kate. But you're Kate now. You have to be the bigger person. And you are made of better stuff than that. It worked, so I said it all the time. And yeah, you're the wrong one. You're bad. We didn't have to tell you nothing, and you were to be seen and not heard. Go get me a Coke! I need a soda now! Yeah, what about Bon-Ton when we went shopping at Christmas? And you forced me to sit on that old man's lap when I cried so hard and didn't want to sit on his lap. But you forced me and said, you will sit on his lap because he's Santa Claus and he will bring you a gift. So I was terrified because you said he came down the chimney. And I'd go in the bathroom where the chimney door was up to the attic and I'd be scared out of my mind. But that didn't seem to matter. I just had to be like everybody else, no matter what. At the Bon-Ton, then I walked out when you guys were shopping so diligently. I guess each kid thought they were watching me, and I just, like I say so much, I just fell through the cracks, I guess. And I'm guessing because I can't think for you, but mostly it looks like you didn't give a damn about me. So I go out to the nativity scene. And there I am looking at baby Jesus in the manger when you all came out, however many of you were at the Bon-Ton that day. I know Daddy was with because he drove. So I got the reaming out that I shall never walk away from you guys in a store again. It was my fault. I'm the bad. which was the norm for everything. Everything, Mom, everything. And you too, Nancy Lou. Every time I have a struggle, oh, yours are nothing. Your struggles are nothing. People have it worse. There's people in Africa starving. You have food, you have a bed, no matter how peed up the bed was. You put a blanket over it. And then it's my fault I wet the bed, and I wet the bed in your bed, Mom, and I was told, look what you did in our bed. Oh, yes, you always fall into a bucket of crap and come out smelling like a rose. That's what Peg used to say to you all the time. And then she'd tell you, you'd complain about your coworkers or somebody doing something at your job. That's what Peg would say. She would tell you the truth, that it's not your coworkers, it's you. Yeah, she wasn't there, but she knew you. Yeah, she did get a job at age 17 working in a restaurant and wasn't there, so you laid on Grandma Bumberger's daybed. And when you were born, I was 9, so I tried to help, but I almost dropped you walking up the steps to the top bedroom. I carried you up there. I tried to put a tea towel on you for a diaper because we didn't have any diapers clean. And Mom went right back to work, right, Mom? You went right back to work the day after you came home from having, I want to say Kathy, but Kate, when she came home from the hospital when you gave birth to her, and then your milk dried up, so we had to use cow's milk and put Caro syrup in it to keep her sustained. Oh boy, and then Grandma left her lay because she had farm work to do. She had to sew dresses for us out of feed bags, and we had it so bad, it was so terrible for us. And yeah, she got food, and she survived. She's still alive. You're still alive. You're still alive, aren't you, Kate? We like to call you Kathy, like Peg would say. Kathy, you're our baby, and you'll always be our baby, no matter how old you get. You ran away from us, you know that, at Bargain Town when I drove you with Barb and Nancy, and you were 4 years old, spinning around that comic book, which I didn't know, and all 3 of us thought the other one. I thought that Barb had your hand, and Nancy thought that I had your hand, and Barb thought that Nancy had your hand. And, actually, I don't remember it. I don't even remember it half the time. So we are shopping, looking for hair products. And, yes, see my beautiful hair? See, I needed hair products. And that was so important when I was 13. Of course, it would be. My self-esteem's low, too. So who cares about your self-worth? At age 4, you ran away from us. You ran away from us. You ran away from us. You said you were just walking home, but that's not true. You just left us. Even though a nice lady, supposedly, which I don't know if this is true either, your story, because you don't tell the truth. You lie. You said some nice red-haired lady picked you up in a blue car and her husband was probably driving, but you didn't know if it was her husband. And then you were halfway home down in the gully there where that green house was. Then you got up to the Camp Meeting Woods and you said our cousin Frank's name, which his nickname was Butch, and you said Butch. And they turned in there, and then Aunt Alma called Grandma. And what did Grandma do? She did the right thing, bringing you back to the store. And you could see us crying, bawling, which I don't remember at all. I don't remember. Oh, no, we didn't hug you or say we're glad you're here and you're still okay and safe at age 4. I didn't say that because you were such a bad girl running away. I didn't want a beating from Daddy because he would have beat me like he did after you tattletaled and told him we called him an old F-U-C-K-er because he said we had to go milk the cows. You're just a tattletale. I know your story is that you were just asking at age 5. You were older than 5, though. Weren't even in school yet. What does that F-U-C-K-er mean? Well, I just heard this. You have to tell him. Where'd you hear that word he said to you? That's what you say anyway. And you tell him, because I heard my 2 older sisters that are 13 and 14 and a half. or 14 and 15 and a half, whatever ages we were then. It's just all you. You're bad, 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 bad. Besides, I was only 13 years old. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything wrong. You ran away. Like Peg said to you millions times, she was feeling guilty all her life because every time she saw you, she'd say, you ran away from us, you ran away from us, you ran away from us, you ran away from us. And the big stuff just got swept under the rug. That's how we do it. And Precious Ann, of course, I had to take care of her. She was really our baby till you came along, a big mistake, accident. Anyway, I don't remember it anyway. If I was bawling or not saying I love you or hugging you and saying you were okay, because I don't remember anyway. And as far as your thing with the narcissist, your younger sister-in-law, and you thought they were having an affair because of the infidelity in our family. Well, my sister-in-law Ruth thought I was having an affair with her husband Fred, and I wasn't. So you're just crazy. That's all it is. And you stole the name Arlie when I think that our precious Annie should have named Julie Arlie. And yeah, I remember Annie saying that she almost had to quit babysitting to me because your child wouldn't stop crying. Angie wouldn't stop crying, and her husband was on night shift. But she didn't tell you that she almost had to quit until you're in your late 30s. What does it matter if you know or not? Because you're nobody, nothing. Do you know that? You're nothing. You're nobody. You're nothing. You're nobody. Oh, and I side with Annie, too. When you gave her those pictures after you lost the baby before the wedding because you got pregnant before you got married. And she took the wrong picture. And when you asked her, why did you pick the picture that you didn't want? She said, I like that one better. It wasn't I made a mistake. She couldn't even lie then. She said, I like that one better. So I did what I want to do because you are nothing. That's what we believed. You are nothing. We do what we want. You never talk back or say anything, even when we had the weight loss meeting. Hope, health, obedience, prayer, and exercise. And I came in and said, what's wrong with Thelma and Kate? And you were sitting only 20 feet away from me. And what did you say? You said nothing. Because you thought, like Mom used to say, she said it all the time, you're to be seen and not heard. And that's what you did all of your life until now, after being abused by a narcissist who did things that you told her for months that would make you think your husband was having an affair because of all the affairs you had to live through and see. But it's just you, Kate. I'll call you Kate, even though Peg always said, you're Kathy, our baby sister. And you'll always be that. Mom's right, too. You're wrong. You're always wrong. And the last thing I want to say to you, Kate, is that I wasn't even there when Annie was caught in the bathroom. I don't know what was said with Mom and Barb and the other people that were in that backyard when they left you standing alone. And like they say, don't shoot the messenger, but bang, we shot you. We left you standing back there. You had to go to the bathroom real bad, so you ended up at Grandma Bumberger's going to the bathroom. No one talked to you. No one came back to see if you were okay. But I don't believe you. You're a liar. You make stuff up. You know, I don't know all the technical terms for what you have, but you're crazy. Don't you know? You're just crazy. Yes, I'm telling you what you are. I'm telling you what your life was. We had low self-worth too, all of us. So your self-worth situation means nothing to us because we all had it exactly the same. We were raised exactly the same. But then when you caught Dale and Annie in the bathroom necking, they were necking all over their faces. But no, I'm sure you probably told that to Mom and Barb, but they were told it was just a little kiss. Nothing really happened. Nothing really happened. Even though you say, and you're a liar, that you would ask Annie if you could go along when she's getting all dressed up to take her purple Studebaker, or however you say that car. And you say, oh, where are you going? Can I go along? Because I'm 14, you're 16. I should go with you. Oh, and Annie would say, oh, no, you're not going with me. I'm going with my friends. So your life means nothing to me, how it is when I do wrong things. You can go babysit. You say you were forced to babysit. Well, you didn't kick and scream and act like baby. Oh, yeah, that's right. You were to be seen and not heard. But you had to babysit, and you put up with Wayne when he was drunk and walking on eggshells. But that's too bad. You have to help your family. You have to do what they want you to do. And yes, you're to be seen and not heard. Seen and not heard. Seen and not heard. Always, always. And as far as you're being abused by a narcissist, making you believe that she's having an affair with your husband and all the things she knew about you after you were friends for 4 or 5 years, close to each other as your sister-in-law, I believe her. You made all that up to attack her because she's such a charming, precious woman. Oh, and look, she lost her husband. It's all forgiven and free because she's a widow now. And you have to feel like it's your fault all the time when people die, like Grandma Walmer. You feel like it's your fault because at age 4, no one told you nothing about that she died. No one told you nothing about that there's a funeral. Just dressed you up so cute and took you back to the funeral, and you tried to climb in her casket in the coffin. You're so bad, 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 bad. Do you know how bad you are? And as far as let's go back to what I was telling you about your sister-in-law, who's a widow, the poor, charming woman who always is nice to us. As far as what our oldest sister Peg said, she thought your sister-in-law was so charming because she said, oh, I thought Barb was the older sister, Peg. I thought you were younger than Barb. And then Peg said to you, oh, I can't agree with you, Kathy, because she's so nice to me. She's so nice to me. And as far as you telling me, at the farmhouse where you stayed with your husband, what she did to you, I don't believe a word you're saying. I think you just picked her to attack because you're crazy. And when I said, just don't talk about it, that's what I meant. Just don't talk about it. I did always teach you to be the bigger person, and then you're made of better stuff than that, Catherine. At Bargaintown, when you, Nancy Lou, were with Barb and Peg. Peg was the oldest and Barb next, and you were only 13, so yeah. You don't know. You don't even remember crying or being there because, you know what? I don't mean shit to none of you. That's the problem. But I'm still the bad one who supposedly ran away from you when I was just looking around at comic book, the twirly rack, and I looked around I was probably there 2-3 minutes, and I walked over to where I thought you guys were when you walked through past me and just left me standing at the comic book rack, and I couldn't find you, and I wasn't allowed to talk. I had to be seen and not heard, so I didn't scream. I just panicked and said, I was panicked and terrified, and I said, what can I do? They're not here. So I was walking home. I was 4. You were 13. What were the ages of Peg and Barb? 20 and 18? 20 and 17? I don't know their exact age, but I know they were. Peg drove us there, or either Barb, because she had a license too. So why am I to blame for that? Why? Because I'm the scapegoat, probably, most likely. Yeah, what about when I was left to run wild while you were doing butchering? There's nowhere else you could take me. Ann could go with Patsy and Uncle Lamar, but I could run wild. I even ate gum that I found under that old cherry tree, and I came down to the fence where they were doing pigs that day and saw them shoot a pig and then put him in the hot water and take those scrapers and scrape it. And then later that day, I had to watch chickens being chained up by their feet and then the chop ahead and then flopping around. And I'm just running wild all over the place. Nobody was watching me that day. Do I remember that? Yeah, oh, no, I don't remember. I just made all this up. That's what you think. And then when I found my cat down at the fire pit, down at the fire burn pile is what you called it, Mom, the burn pile. I found Mikey down there, my cat. I went to pet him, and he was hard like a rock. I was about 10 years old then. And the only one that helped me, I went up in the house crying and I was told, oh, it's just a cat. It's just a cat. And who helped me to bury him? Thelma did. And when you would say, what's wrong with Thelma, Kate? I don't want to ever hear that again from any of you. And that time I did pee in your bed, Mom. I peed in your bed and all I got was, look what you did. You'll never sleep with us in our bed again. Not any compassion. Not any trying to help me stop wet to bed at age 10. Just, you did this, you did that, you're bad, you're the one, you're bad, do this, do that, go down, here, take this rat down to the burn pile, here, I need vegetables. Yeah, you were tired from working, you were getting older because you were 40 when you had me, but still, it's my fault that I got like this. And then to go down in that scary basement down under the house with stone and the lights in the middle of the room where the freezer is. Go get me vegetables. Now! I was terrified to go down in the dark. I was afraid of the dark, but every child has to be just the same and do the dishes. Why aren't these dishes done? What is it? You should have these dishes done! And then when I was jumping in Gail's crib, Daddy caught us. I was the one in there with the other three, Donna and Kenny. I don't know if Suze was with us. She was the little angel, the oldest grandchild. So I don't think she was jumping with us. She was the Halo Queen who did everything right. Yeah, she thinks her self-esteem is low, her self-worth is low because her mom didn't want her. But my mom did, and she got everything from her. And yes, you were, Mom, you were. You were her mom and not mine. I was pushed aside. So Daddy caught us. You know, he did. You weren't there. You weren't even around. None of yous two. And he beat the crap out of me for jumping in a crib. What? Material things were worth more than a human flesh body? Whoa, that hurts bad. I was 7 when the 4 moved in. 7 when 4 children moved in. I loved those kids. Well, Donna, Kenny, and Gail, but Sue was the spoiled, always right baby. When we'd argue in the car, her dad, Ken, my oldest brother, who is 19 years older than me, would say, I'm going to drop you off at the El Parado. Terrified. That was the scariest corner in the city of Lebanon. And then I was always the bad one. Bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're bad. You're not going anywhere. 1, because you can't stay overnight because you wet the bed. 2, you're just bad. You're too young. Even though Anne's old enough, when she's 12, but you turn 12, you're not old enough. You're too young to do that. You're too young to go along. You can't go because you wet the bed. You can't go. You can't go. You're too young. You're too young. You're too young. Why did I have to hear that all the time? You have to be the bigger person. And you are made of better stuff than that. It worked, so I said it all the time. And yeah, you're the wrong one. You're bad. We didn't have to tell you nothing, and you were to be seen and not heard. And then the last thing for you, Nancy Lou, is I was so hurt, and I seriously thought, because of seeing all the infidelity growing up as a kid, I'll just say their names. Wayne, it was really Harold, Pat, Darlene. Infidelity. Why did those kids move with us? Because she couldn't stop sleeping around on my brother, Kenneth. I'm all in the middle of all this, but I am nothing. I'm nothing. I felt worthless. I was nothing. But you won't believe that. There's excuses that your stuff's worse. So, anyway, I want you to leave my house and never come back again. Don't send me a Christmas card. If you send one to my husband, just put his name on the card. Don't send me a message about Merry Christmas or Happy Birthday. I want nothing from any of you. Nothing from the 2 living sisters. The 2 the coddled one and the one who thinks she knows everything. I want nothing from either of you. Nothing. So leave my house, please, and never come back.